Hey guys, I'm Sartorial Phil. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have a watch collection video. It's only 3 pieces. It's a small collection, but I do intend on growing it in the future. And as you can see, these are the boxes. The only one that's a little different is the Patek one because it also comes in a Tiffany box. And I have more detailed videos on the Audemars here, the Patek that I was just talking about. The Rolex one I don't have a separate video on. That was because I got this before I started my channel. So that was my first luxury watch, and that's going to be the first one I'm going to talk about today because I don't think I really showed you in detail. So it comes in a pale yellow-green box like this with the Rolex crown on it. And all of these, you're gonna notice that they come with this flap for the boxes. So it comes in this deep green box with like a wave texture on the top. There's the stamping on the bottom. I know they've changed their packaging before, so this is probably, I think this watch is 5 years old now, or maybe even a little bit more. So I'm not sure if they updated it, but here is the packaging. I already removed some of the tags, of course, because I've worn this quite a bit. It comes in this microfiber interior. So this is the Rolex Datejust. This is the 36mm version. The watch size, the diameter is 36 millimeters. This is in steel and what they call ever rose gold, which is just a fancy way of saying rose gold or pink gold. But Rolex, in their marketing language, they say that their steel, they use a different formula. It's not your regular 1810 stainless steel. And this version is, I think they said it's harder and it looks better when they polish it, but it's harder to work with. And then for their rose gold, they said they added in a little bit of platinum to stabilize the color, but I don't think anyone has ever said rose gold will fade, so I'm really not sure if the platinum is really needed. So it has the fluted bezel, or the fluted bezel. The crown is also in rose gold. This bracelet is Jubilee, and it's the updated one, which I think some people refer to it as the Super Jubilee, which means even the clasp has the detailing. On the other version, I think the older version, this part where the clasp is smooth. It's just one metal piece. But here, the bracelet, this design continues all the way through the bracelet. So I definitely prefer this one. And I got a chance to look at older models because I've had this for a while and it's kind of sometimes a talking point because it's a pretty popular Rolex model, the Datejust, and of course the Submariner, but I've seen this quite a few times in the last few years, and I found out that some of the older models that have the regular Jubilee bracelet, when they have the two-tone, which is a steel and the gold, the gold part here in the bracelet is hollow because it's a lot lighter than this watch. And then this watch, all of these links here in the two-tone, they are solid, which definitely makes this heavier and would make it more valuable just from the raw materials alone. This one has a white dial with diamond markers and then of course the date there. It comes with a booklet and it has all the details as well as the serial numbers and everything in the front, but it comes with a booklet on the model, which is the Rolex Datejust. So it just talks about the movement, how to set it. Pretty simple. I mean, you can only set the time and the date or the day on this. So this is the other bracelet. This is the Oyster Bracelet. but that's not the one I have. And it just talks about the warranty as well. And I have relatively thinner wrists, so I had to remove some of the links. But of course, you definitely want to keep these because these are pretty expensive, especially when they're mixed material or solid gold. I think if they're solid gold, like each one of these links are several $100s each. This interior color, like a pale green yellow, matches the box color, and it comes also with a cleaning cloth in the same exact color, and basically I think it's the same exact material. This one you can still find on their website, though I think they recently updated the Rolex or the Datejust model slightly. So this one you open by prying the crown open here, and then you can see it's a clasp. This one does not have an open back, so the open back or the back is solid. And then the grooves you see here is what's used to open the back of the case. There's a specific tool for this where they can unscrew the back cover to service it. So this is more or less my daily watch. I've worn this quite a bit. I tried to keep it in good shape. It doesn't have any major scratches on it. I did clean it once with jewelry cleaner because of the way the bracelet is designed. You're going to get a lot of dust and gunk in there. So you just need like a really soft bristle and jewelry cleaner, one that's safe for metal, especially with precious metal. And then you just slowly work it in to clean out all of the grooves. And I picked the white dial first. I thought it was just it was more classic and easy to wear for every day, but can be dressed up as well. And it has a signature magnified area there. I think this watch was around $13,000 if I remember correctly. So when I first got it, it was definitely I needed to save up for it. And it was kind of my gateway watch. I didn't think I would spend that much on a watch, but I mean, this was kind of just the beginning. So that is watch number 1, which is the Rolex Datejust 36 in steel and ever rose gold, white dial with diamond markers. This next one, Audemars Piguet, I got 2 years ago in Asia, and this one I do have a detailed video on, so I'll link that in the description if you want to see that one. This one comes in a larger box, and I think it might be real wood, but it's like a wood pattern that's laminated on the box. It's like a veneer. And on this one, all the booklet information is underneath the box, which has the information on the model and warranty information and the like the authenticity card. And so this is the box that it comes in, and there's a button here that when you press, it unlocks the top. So this is quite a step up from the Rolex. This is in solid rose gold. This is their Royal Oak. This is the 37mm version. And there aren't any complications on it. It's the same as a Rolex. You just have the day on it, and of course the hour, minute, and second hands. It has the tapestry pattern, the signature pattern from, I forget if it's just a Royal Oak or all of their watches. It's a signature pattern for them, and it's pretty intricate. Like when you view it under magnification, you can see that it's a lot more than just a simple grid. And these markers I found out later, actually I didn't even know when I purchased it. It has the luminous material, like the glow-in-the-dark material, which in these days people don't really actually need anymore because we all have our phones, but it was an interesting addition. This one has their meticulously sanded down, I guess, satin finish. It's all in one direction. So this one definitely is polished like as if it was jewelry. You can see how it catches the light. That's the one thing I really love about this bracelet, is how it catches the light as you move it. And of course, this bracelet is signature element of the Royal Oak, with these two kind of lugs here that connects each of the parts of the band. This one has a pale gray dial, so a bit more muted than the white dial on the Rolex. It doesn't have any diamonds on this one though. And this one opens by pressing these two, and it's like a butterfly. I still have the protective film on it because I just haven't had a good reason to remove this one, because you can't see it when you wear it. And this one does have an open back design with the model number and I think serial number as well. And it's pretty cool. You can see the pendulum swinging. And the back crystal as well as the front crystal, they are both sapphire crystal, which you would expect for a watch at this price point. I think overall this is my favorite watch. It's pretty heavy because this is solid rose gold. So the bracelet, case, the bezel, the crown, they are all solid 18 karat rose gold. So this one you put it on by snapping them both, but you have to snap one of them first, and then you snap the one with the AP logo on top like that. This one is definitely not my daily watch, but I have worn it probably at least a couple dozen times, if not more. It's usually my go-to watch when I go to events because it's more flashy and it's more substantial. So I think I kept it in pretty good condition, but there are some surface scratches when I wasn't careful about wearing a jacket that had some metal inside that scratched some of the interior on top here. But overall, I kept it away from any dents or any deep scratches. This one is the 37mm version. I tried on the larger one, but it just was too large for my wrist, and then when you looked at it on the side, there was large gaps in the case here because it would be wider than my wrist, and I didn't really like that look, and it felt odd on my wrist as well. So like a 37 just works good for me. This one, I have more detail in that detailed video, but I think this one was in the low 40K range in terms of pricing. And I also had to have some of the extra parts of the bracelet removed, but this one was just 2. So this one didn't give me as much, like the original size didn't have as much space as the Rolex did, because the Rolex one, I think they removed 4, whereas this one they only removed 2. And these, like I was saying with the Rolex, these are solid rose gold, so these are even more expensive if you need to get a replacement, or if your wrist is larger, then you have to actually buy additional ones of these. But I think if you get I believe the next size up is 41. If you get that one, it should already come with extra ones because they're gonna assume with the larger case size, you have a thicker wrist, and it comes by default with probably at least 2 more of these. But this one, since it's a 37, it's not sized to fit really thick wrists. And that's just a cleaning cloth that's meant for gold. So this is the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 37 in solid rose gold with the gray dial. So last but not least is my Patek Philippe watch. And the reason it's in a Tiffany box is because I purchased this from Tiffany. It's slightly modified too, which you'll see when I open it. But of course, if you've already seen my detailed video, you already know what this watch is and the design of it. This one comes in the largest box, and there's actually a design of the movement in varnish on it as well, which I think is cool. Like I was saying before, all of these watch boxes have this flap This one is the only one that comes with a dust bag for the case. And this case is also the largest, as well as being the heaviest. So this is the box that it comes in, and again, it has like a wood veneer finish on it, and it has their logo. You open it, and it says Patek Philippe here. You open it by flipping this lock up. This is the Moonphase with the day, with the month, day of the week, and the date or the day on this one, as well as a 24-hour hand. So this is the most complex out of the 3 watches that I have. And that just fell from the side of this watch holder, and it comes with this tool which is pretty neat, which is basically used to press on these buttons here, which change the date. So here is the watch. The case is in solid rose gold, and the watch is black alligator. And it has the logo on the crown as well. This one is the only one that is a leather strap, and it has a buckle system like here, which is adjustable, unlike my other 2 watches. Here are more details on the face of the watch with the dial. And I really fell in love with the design of this dial. That's why I ended up getting this instead of a Nautilus. Although for the Nautilus, the wait list was definitely much more substantial, and I would have had to get probably the solid gold one in order to get it in a year time frame. And this one, it's a little harder to see in this video because I don't have a macro camera right now, but it says Tiffany & Co. right here in the Moonphase. And what Tiffany does is when they bring these watches in, they disassemble part of it in order for them to print that on, and then they put the watch back together. And Tiffany is the only company that has this sort of partnership with Patek, and there's a whole story around that as well. And this back is open back, and you can see the pendulum. And because it has the day of the week, the day, the month, the Moonphase, there are 4 adjustments here that you press, which one of them advances the Moonphase, one of them changes the day of the week, the date, and the month, and then you use the crown here to adjust the time. And then the 24-hour time on the bottom here will adjust accordingly based on what time you change it to. And this buckle is also in 18 karat rose gold. And that's what it looks like on. This one I usually wear to special events, especially if there's a Tiffany event. I'm usually going to wear this one. This one I think is more elegant than the Royal Oak. It's a bit more subtle because it has a black strap as opposed to a solid rose gold bracelet. So this one I think tends to pair better with suits or formal wear than my Royal Oak. And I think you noticed by now that all 3 of them have rose gold, because rose gold is my favorite color in terms of gold. I just like that on my skin tone it's a little bit more subtle. This one I think was just under 50K. So this one was the most expensive, even though it doesn't even have the most gold in it because of the movement in this one, as well as the brand makes it more expensive than the Royal Oak, even though the Royal Oak, if you were to just talk about raw materials, that definitely would be more valuable than this watch. Plus, this one also has the Tiffany co-branding, which it doesn't change the original price of this, but it does make it a bit more rare because you can only get it through Tiffany if you want the Tiffany co-branding on this. And they only make a few per year. And that's my video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. I'll definitely post more pictures on Instagram. I do already have I have a few on Instagram already, but usually I also coordinate my YouTube channel with Instagram, so I'll post some more details of this as well. And if you haven't checked it out already, it's the same name as my YouTube channel, so it's @sartorialphil. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.